couple of days since I last filmed, and I have been making a little bit of progress on that bonnet that I started at the end of my last vlog. Here it is! Wah wah. I have a noodle, okay, and the start of the bonnet. So this here's the strap. I am working on the Ellie bonnet by Kiss.rhinestones. I'm using the iconic cherry color that was being shown as an example, because honestly, half the reason I pick patterns is because I just like the colors that the knitwear designer ends up using. It's hard to like stray from that, you know? I have done an I-cord before, but I did I-cord edging, which would have been on both my Sophie shawl and my Sophie scarf. But to do it like this, where it's like meant to quite literally act as like a cord at the end of the project for ties, that was definitely different. I'm definitely learning that I am someone that has a lot of difficulty with parts of the pattern where there's so few stitches on the needles. When there's a lot on the needles, I can like manage it really well, but when it's just like 4 stitches, like seriously, this whole thing is like 4 stitches, it's like really hard for me to keep the stitches on my needles. And actually, after I had been doing my sweater, I was like, oh man, like I have to move stuff around a lot. Like maybe the bamboo's been really nice as a beginner because it doesn't slip. And it makes it a little bit more difficult to move the stitches around and have it be a little bit more graceful and smooth. But then like I start projects like this and I'm like, you know what? I'm glad I have the bamboo needles now. Because if I had metal needles, I would have dropped a lot more stitches. It would have been so difficult. But this is really fun so far. I'm learning how to do right leaning creases, left leaning creases. I'm also learning how to do them right leaning purls as well as left leaning purls as well too. I don't have a ton of time quite yet, but I am gonna sit down and do some more work on this before I get some dinner into my stomach. I'm doing a repo collab with some streamer friends this evening. We're using mods tonight, and I think it's just gonna be a blast. It's with a bunch of people on Gremlin Grove, which is one of the stream teams that I'm on. They're some of my favorite people on the planet, so I'm excited to dive into that a little bit later. It'll be really fun. Oh my gosh, it has definitely been a few days since I've recorded. I decided for this video I was going to take my time a little bit more to upload something. The weather change right now is kind of kicking my butt. Being in the Midwest, it's been going up and down so much. Like today it looks beautiful, but then when you step outside it's like below freezing. Like it's in like the low 30s, high 20s. The Tank and the Banga show that I went to was incredible, so beautiful. Tank is just such an all-encompassing artist. I ended up buying her poetry book as well as the vinyl record of their newest album that like came out not too long ago. It was a little bit of a smaller crowd because actually I was supposed to see them last year, but they ended up canceling and rescheduling like a bunch of shows. I have a feeling that led to a really big reason as to why maybe the crowd like maybe wasn't as big as you would expect at a Tank and the Banga show. Either way, it was like very intimate and it was so fun, and she just her outfit was so cute. Her poetry is just unreal. Her voice, there's just not a single moment that her intonation was off, like ever. Some quick updates in terms of projects. I have so much of my bonnet done. I'm actually almost done with it. You can kind of see here, I have the whole body. I have one string done, and now I am working on this last little bit here. I am so happy, but remember the yarn that I had to order? It came, literally just came today. So hopefully I will be able to finish my sweater pretty soon. I am so happy this came as quickly as it did. Ended up taking about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. So ended up not being as bad as I was initially preparing myself for. This roll of yarn was like $8 and shipping was $15. So obviously I had to make sure that my money was worth it. And so I did grab this really, really pretty kiwi green yarn as well too. I picked this yarn because I was looking through some of the projects that I have, and I really want to do the fat fur hat by, is it Spectacle Strict that makes that one? I believe so. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. And so they gave this yarn as a great alternative for the one that they used in the original project. And of course, part of me picking any project is that I love the colors that they use so much in the original design. And this just like was beautiful. And so yeah, this is the Hip Knit Shop fluff yarn in the color kiwi. I wasn't sure if I would need both rolls, but at the very least, even if a hat only takes one roll, I might remake the bonnet and also do one in this color as well too. But yeah, I'm feeling so relieved that this is already here, because I would love to wear my sweater at least once or twice before we get into like actual summertime. In terms of today, I have quite a few little bit of setup things. I'm gonna clean off my desk. It's getting a little bit decluttered. I have a new desk mat that came in because my friend Jade came out with some really cute little streamer merch, and I wanted to set up a desk mat, and then I have some keycaps I want to change my keyboard with as well too, just so that, you know, I can kind of have a little desk refresh. Tomorrow I am starting back up my crafting streams, and I have a old, and I say old very loosely, but I have an older camera that I used to use before I had this one that I think I would like to set up so that I have a view of like my hands, like while I'm knitting and crocheting.